So about 5 years ago, I released one of my favorite songs that I've ever made, and I just thought I would talk about it, what exactly inspired it, and my thought process behind the song called Paper Hearts by Cosmic Way. At the time, it wasn't only me that was representing Cosmic Way, but it was me, my friend, and then this other girl. At this period of time, we were making a transition into this new style and sound that we were experimenting with, and there was always this feeling I wanted to touch. The best word to describe it would be nostalgia. Nostalgia is a bittersweet emotional state characterized by a sentimental longing or wistful affection for a past period or place with happy personal associations. It blends the joy of recalling fond memories with the slight sadness of realizing that time has passed. So when I think about nostalgia, what that word means and how exactly I felt when making this song, well, clearly this song, as you can see the video that I put together in an edit back then, the song was very inspired by 80s aesthetics, and I was not born in the 80s, I was born in the 2000s. So how exactly does the 80s inspire a song or invoke that feeling of longing for the past within me? It's something interesting, or a concept that I would likely love to explore and break down as time goes on. Well, I'm not sure if you've heard people say before that nostalgia can kill you, so I'm not sure what exactly that means. However, as a Christian, I know of a Bible verse that warns against nostalgia. So as we can see over here, it says the primary biblical warning against nostalgia is found in Ecclesiastes 7 verse 10. Do not say, "Why were the old days better than these? For it is not wise to ask such questions." So I think the kind of nostalgia that is being spoken of in that verse is a kind of nostalgia that's like one that's taking your mind off of the present, and you're like so focused on the past that you kind of neglect the present and you don't think about the future at all, which is just not the type of nostalgia I'll be focusing on. It's not necessarily a longing for the past, but more a feeling that it invokes within you, and I'm sure that a lot of people experience this feeling when looking at footage like this. Where does that come from, and how exactly is it that we long for eras that we haven't experienced? I think one of my friends called Sloan, which featured in a video a few weeks ago, and you'll probably see more of him in future, he said something before when he was looking at like these old Disney compilations, and he found one of them before and he posted them, and I like brought that up, and it was like this Christmas nostalgic edit, and I'm sure you've seen those before on Instagram or on Pinterest. The feeling it invokes, he put it in this way: it's experiencing the world for the first time, and when you were a child, it's like the way the world looked might have been a bit fuzzy and everything seemed sparkly and magical to you. So looking at the world through that lens is what awakens this feeling of like, oh, my parents woke me up late one night and we went on a night drive, a road trip somewhere, and you see footage like this and people saying that basically gave them this feeling that they can't touch anymore. And how is it that we've all experienced it? I think that some people who think more deeply about life, maybe creative people, artists, they are usually the ones who take note of these kind of things. I've spoken to people who don't view the world in this way, and their minds are just, drifting through life. But if you look at things in a deeper way, then usually it will invoke some type of feeling within you. And for the song Paper Hearts, I was in a headspace where I was watching a lot of 80s movies, anime, you name it, and the song started by this scene in the movie Akira. If you've seen it, you'll know there's like this motorcycle chase that happens near the beginning of the movie, and a lot of my friends do not like this movie at all. A lot of them actually don't like older animes, but I love to watch older animes. I love 80s, 90s and 2000s things, and I'm currently watching Psycho Pass for like the second time, I think. That's also one of my favorite, like Cyberpunk, but 80s Cyberpunk, and also just this nostalgic view of how they saw the future. It's amazing. And you know, I've touched on, if you've seen videos on this channel, the Frutiga Aero aesthetic, which is the 2000s view of the future. When I was watching Akira and that scene came on, I saw the lights, and I included it in this video. When I saw this lady walking in the lights, I just heard the beat of this song, and it was just like ta ta ta. I think Blinding Lights by The Weeknd came out not too long before the song came out, so the nostalgic 80s thing was definitely a thing. It kind of still is, you know, with Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia, and the video clearly inspired by Sailor Moon aesthetics. That video is amazing as well. Even though that song is super overplayed, I think it's a good song. That video captured the feeling well as well. And we obviously know Daft Punk's Interstellar music video series that was done with Toei Animation. That's also another good example of just what was going on in the 80s. In the 80s, there was this obsession with space and like the future. The lyrics of the song was also inspired heavily by that, where it's like this feeling of drifting through space and chasing neon lights, sparkling neon lights in the city, chasing a highway in the night, in the midnight, driving to the moon. All of these ideas and concepts were obviously based around this futuristic view of humanity. Yeah, so woke up in a scene where the lights glow, woke up in a dream where the ocean flows from your eyes like waterfalls in the night. So a lot of the idea was inspired by anime, inspired by this look that was popular back then, that had like the sparkle in the character's eyes, very relevant to the era. Something that, as I said, city lights that are sparkling in the distance. And woke up in a scene where the lights glow. Obviously, as I said, that scene in Akira with the lights glowing, you know, I just imagined waking up in this place, and that just, you know, is like this dream. It feels like a dream. Woke up in a space where the stars play. It feels like a stream in the Milky Way. We collide like two black holes in the sky. In that vibe, I just think like Tokyo, retro, Leo, Tokyo. I'm going up to the stars. I'm going up to the sky. Somehow I'm going up to the stars from the city, and this is why I love. This is an anime I discovered like after I made Paper Hearts. Galaxy Express 999. This is something that just touched on exactly how like I feel internally, and then it just boom, you know, it expresses that. And I think I touched on it in my last video, but something that a lot of anime does is this feeling that I have inside to touch, it just throws it out there, and it gives you a visual for it. It gives you a series for it, a movie for it, you know. And there's just so many things that are not able to put it just as it is plainly here, you know, like an Owl City song. And this train that basically goes from the city to the stars, that's exactly what, you know, I'm trying to touch. And like a super good example I can give you, right? This song came out in 2021. There's a song that we made called Stardust, and Stardust came out in 2020. And this was my first attempt to write songs in this style that is essentially 80s nostalgia, you know. And I feel like it was perfected in Paper Hearts, which was a year after. But you know, I was experimenting here. This was like our first song in a new direction, so like kind of like our debut song. Even though I really dislike how the song sounds now, like sonically, production wise, it still sounds really amateur to my ears compared to how much I've grown since then. The idea, you know, it's the foundation, it's here. So in a world where the planes lead the trains from the stars, the idea was there, I just couldn't touch it. Like electricity coursing through my veins, it's an anomaly and it blows my brain. You've got me over the moon, playing among the stars, dancing through all the lights with our paper hearts. That again, once again, ties into the sparkly city lights. Look at this picture from Galaxy Express 999. Amazing example of what I'm talking about. Just being able to dance from the city to the stars, to float up in the air. Isn't that like just so romantic? Like this, you know, walking up to the stars from the city, falling into the stars from the city. Chorus, I woke up with the stars all play. It's a beautiful sight in the Milky Way. Give me a cosmic explanation for things I can't erase and things I keep on chasing, cause you. So that was the part that I wrote. The rest of the lyrics, or verse 2, was written by Varna. Best way I can also just sum up the idea for Paper Hearts is retro-futurism. And if any of you have taken art out there, maybe you've heard of the concept of retro-futurism in high school. And I'm talking like visual artists, and I took visual art. I'm a graphic designer too. So this, you know, like it's all connected. For me, when I make music, I try to take people to these worlds, you know, I try to take people into my mind, and I try to take them into my thought process when making these things. Yeah, this was my inspiration for the song Paper Hearts, and I feel like stuff like this just takes me to another place. I hope that when listening to my music, I can also take you to that place. Why I make music like this and why I write music like this, it's to invoke a feeling inside of you and to take you somewhere that might be, you know, escapism from reality for a brief few minutes, and also just giving you something meaningful to think about. So if you enjoyed this brief lyrical breakdown of one of my songs that I made like years ago, it's not like, you know, everyone has heard it yet, so it's still there for the world to discover. And I hope that you go and check it out if you want to. It's on all streaming platforms, and if you like this type of content, subscribe, because there's a ton more on the way. And I'm just making videos about stuff, talking about stuff I love, talking about, you know, things to motivate you, inspire you. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I hope you've enjoyed your time with me today. Peace, blessings, and love to you all. Peace out from me on the spaceship. I'll catch you next time. Stay cosmic.